Hello, everybody. Brian here, quantlabs.net. Today, in this video, I want to go over something very unique about what I do and the power of YouTube. YouTube usually can get some pretty powerful, knowledgeable, experienced people commenting away. This is one really good example. I don't know who this is. Look up my YouTube channel for FPGA to figure out what's going on. But even if this comment doesn't stay up, which is usually the case, it gets deleted. But I just want to capture this to say and comment about this comment. Nice opening. And this is again about the cheap FPGA and FPGA related posts I've been putting up lately. So one of them got nice opening. I have a pretty strong background in embedded applications, but I've never had to do FPGA solutions. Personally, I'm going to say FPGA is fairly complicated, as I've hinted at before. Mostly microcontroller-based stuff. I found that you can do pretty nice low latency with just modern microprocessor with pin cores and bypassing the operating system and communicating directly with the NIC. That's a network card. Okay, this right here is um, the magic right here. Nice low latency. Of course, sometimes that low latency might not be enough for a high frequency trading firm. But the key here again, so modern microprocessor with pin cores and bypassing the OS. I mean, that's why the HFT shops and the like are doing this to avoid the jitterness of whatever operating system, Linux, Unix, BSD, whatever, and communicating and bypassing that and going right on to the NIC. So considering that to be able to send out the data that you get where you receive it incoming, and then you have your outgoing once you go through the data and then use that same data uh, to process it in a fast way, and then to be able to turn around and put out high signals uh, based around that. So again, you're just looking at the direct communication with I guess, some kind of microprocessor environment, and then using, uh, I'm not sure what language could be used, assembler, maybe even C, and communicating with the network card. And you got a high-speed network card. You have as it says, a modern microprocessor. This is where I have the question for the person. How are you able to do this? What's the tools you're using? I'd be very interested to do this. And it says here low latency because I'm sure you'd be able to do this in a much more affordable way than you would with something like um, uh, an FPGA board, where you'd have to have your processor environment, whatever it is, sitting directly on the exchanges, no different than the HFT shops do. This would be an interesting experiment personally. Anyway, so he has a question. Have I done any HFT in this area? No, the answer is no. As I said, I'm not an expert in any of this area. I like to talk about it. I like to learn about it. Um, but the closest I've got was playing around with, as I said before, MATLAB with the Simulink and the building out little basic models, generating the Verilog equivalent, and then the C and C++. But that was 10, 15 years ago in MATLAB. So outside of that, not really. I played around with the CUDA from NVIDIA, interesting stuff as well. But you're gonna have the same problem. You're gonna have to go through a board, the operating system, and the like. But this microprocessor option is pretty interesting. Um, I'm personally more interested in low latency than high frequency. Um, High frequency comes from the data, from the sub-second, the amount of data you go through, because it's high, um, like really high. Milliseconds, microseconds, that's where that reference comes from in the trading space. Having this kind of knowledge can bring in, well, make you very valuable, as I said before, to other firms that want and have an interest in this. But if there's a way to get around this with C or C++, to be truthful, I've been looking at a parallel utilizing framework in C++. Apparently, it's very fast. It's faster than Intel TBB and the like. I'm not going to go here and talk about it on public or anywhere, but I'm going to play with it. And I'm going to talk to the guy who designed it. Hopefully, he'll respond. And then I can converse with him to see if this can be done with this framework on a network card. This is one of the reasons why I have the elite membership, um, because this is what brings value and uniqueness to not just what I do or plan to do, but also for any of my members that want to join this. And we'll see how that works out. I'm also looking at other C++ as well. And just to give you an idea, if you're interested in the world of what I do on quantlabsnet.com, two things to take away is the learn to get the HFT C++ HFT ebook that I wrote a few months ago. We're I would say we're up to a couple of hundred people have downloaded it. Thank you very much for reading it. Let me know what you think. Also, I've just launched this week the forum. It's very quiet. The whole idea is to get people involved in this forum, get responses, build a community out of that. It's built for people that are part of my quant lead or what will become of that, and three other general discussion areas as well, just on the forum at quantlabsnet.com. And then we still have the group. It's going to grow. I've just put up for anybody watching this fairly recently on December 14th, 2024. We've got now 3 new lined up uh, events happening over the next 3 weeks on high speed HFT, retail trading platforms, Forex trading as well. I'm just doing this general stuff before we start to get into the nitty gritty starting next year in 2025. I just want these out there. I've got all the best courses, all the best stuff I've done over the last 15 years in one course. That's in one course, if you want to call it that, more like a video series. And then at the other end, we're going to be now launching, getting into the understanding of futures and options trading with high frequency trading in mind. So but that will be a fairly affordable course, but be on the lookout for that. And more importantly, learn more about that. Just join the Learn tab here to get on the email list, because then you'll kind of be notified on it. And the only way to know beyond that is to engage with what I put out by, hate to tell you, clicking stuff. If we don't know, we don't know what you're interested in. Other than that, thanks for watching. Have a good day.